This changes everything for the Winnipeg Jets as in a brutal loss against the Nashville Predators. We saw Dylan Samberg go down with an absolutely brutal injury, and this changes everything going forward as they are down one of their best D-men. But this means an opportunity has opened up for Ville Heinola. So to break down all that in this episode and discuss what it can mean going forward as this was absolutely brutal. Stay tuned for all that in this episode. But before we get to it, we are proud to announce that this video is brought to you by Rentals.ca, who are proud supporters of Team Canada. And while they've been supporting our national team defend their home court in international competition, they've also been helping thousands of Canadians find their home floor all across the country. And it doesn't matter what city you are in, whether you're in Toronto, whether you're in Vancouver, Montreal, Calgary, Halifax, it does not matter. Winnipeg, Mississauga, Edmonton, Victoria, St. John's, it doesn't matter where you are from coast to coast. Rentals.ca has a ton of options to find the perfect place and price for you.
Their website is clean and easy to use, and you can pinpoint exactly on the map where you want to move, finding all the options in your area. Find your home court with Rentals.ca.
Yeah, check out the website in the pinned comment or the description down below. And shout out to Rentals.ca for supporting our channel, supporting Team Canada, and supporting you guys for finding the best rentals across the country. So thank you guys again, and thank you to Rentals.ca for sponsoring this video. What a brutal game yesterday. We obviously didn't have a post-game video because there wasn't too much to talk about. It was obviously a fairly close game. You know, it was tied there for a while, and in the fourth, obviously, the Predators scored 3 goals. Jets didn't score in the third period, but what happened was Dylan Samberg. It's time to go over that because, quite frankly, he's been a guy we've been hyping up on this channel a ton. We've obviously been talking about him a lot on this channel. Scott O'Neill told Mike McKinstry of Winnipeg crew that Dylan Samberg suffered a broken foot after blocking the shot from Steven Stamkos and will head back to Winnipeg for further evaluation as the team goes to Minnesota. It's a big loss for the Jets' defensive core, and it's kind of fitting and suiting that he breaks his foot or gets an injury on a blocked shot because that's what he's been doing for this team all year. He's playing phenomenal defense, putting his body on the line. He's probably one of the toughest players, and he is one of the toughest players in the NHL when it comes to pain tolerance, when it comes to not missing time. And unfortunately for him, he suffered a broken foot on a blocked shot, and it looked bad in the moment. We were hoping that it was just going to be something that kept him out a couple weeks, but it's going to keep him out for a very long time with a broken foot. So, Darius, what are your thoughts on this? Samberg, one of the better Leafs defensemen this year, kind of one of their shining stars this season, is going to be out indefinitely.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, it looked bad, and it is bad. It is a broken foot. And you know what? Like you mentioned, too, like credit to Dylan Samberg for finishing that shift, right? Broken foot. Now that we know it's a broken foot and you look back at the clip, I mean, it's pretty inspirational, honestly. Like, that was pretty crazy. But it's a bad luck for Dylan Samberg here. He's been playing really well this season. I've been a real big fan of his so far this season. And even when we started making videos earlier in the season, like, this is a guy who was standing out and fans were really loving. So this is a tough break for him. He's been playing some good hockey. Hopefully when he does return, he can come back into form. But like you mentioned as well, this opens the door for somebody else. And we've been talking about how, I kept saying that I feel like the coaching staff is going to go with experience. When Logan Stanley's ready to go, he's going to be the guy that comes back into the lineup, while, Ville Heinola should probably get a look, right? But I was thinking that it was going to be Logan Stanley. But at this point, looks like it's going to be both of them because Samberg's going to be out. And I think that's exciting for Jets fans. Obviously not exciting on the injury front, but if you're a Jets fan with these circumstances, it's an exciting prospect because now you have a guy who's coming back from a pretty good conditioning stint with the Manitoba Moose as well. He's going to be factoring into the lineup, and I think he's going to finally get a fair shake here with Dylan Samberg out for a significant amount of time to really show what he can do. And hopefully, he doesn't run into any other injury problems or anything like that. He's had a tough go here in Winnipeg, but I think this is finally, the opportunity has finally opened up for him. So I think that's exciting, and all the fans are ready to see this guy play.
Yeah, the unfortunate part is when it comes to actually winning hockey right now, Samberg helps more than probably either of those two guys, but it finally opens up a spot for Ville Heinola, which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, big loss for the Jets, and hopefully Dylan Samberg can, there's no real timeline right now. Maybe for the playoffs, maybe something like that, but I would doubt it. Again, he has a broken foot, so it depends on the severity. Maybe he'll return at some point, but it also begs the question now, and let's dive into Ville Heinola. I'll save my question about potentially, opening up the trade market for them because they already knew they wanted a third-line defenseman. You can see here, Dylan Samberg's pain tolerance is epic, but Ville Heinola is meant to join the team tomorrow and could have called into action sooner than later at this Reddit corner Murat Ati. So basically, it's an interesting point here because as you look at this, Ville Heinola has had a very interesting trajectory, a very interesting career so far to this point. He's played a few games with the Jets since the COVID shortened season. But now he actually has a chance to really run away with this spot. Now, again, we'll take the positive approach to this injury. There's no positive to the injury, but you got to take, you can't look back and say, all the negatives. Let's have some positive, light here. Ville Heinola, like you mentioned, I think he's going to be a very intriguing guy, and what their plan is going forward surrounding. We already thought they were going to be in the market for a third line blue liner to kind of replace Logan Stanley or Hayden Fleury, or
Yeah.
maybe depending on Ville Heinola does. But now I think they absolutely need one, unless Ville Heinola goes out and shows that he's absolutely capable. But even then, you're still going to need to look to replace Logan Stanley if that's something that you want to do. So I think that Ville Heinola has a huge opportunity here, a golden opportunity to really step up and run away with that spot. This is the first time in a very long time, maybe in his Jets career, where he has a clear path to winning over a defensive spot for the rest of the season and into the future for him. And he needs to capitalize this before it's too late. And, it might alter their trade plans as the deadline approaches here in the coming weeks.
I think that's exactly the plan right now. If I was the Winnipeg Jets and management, coaching, everything like that, I would give this kid a shot, see what he has right now before you explore a trade. You are playing fantastic hockey right now. Obviously, you're disappointed about that loss against the Nashville Predators, but you're still in first place by quite a bit. You've had a great start to the season, and the mindset has not changed. They come into every game obviously trying to win. Going into yesterday's third period, it was only 1-1, right? So you were in that game until that point, and obviously you lose a guy to injury. So before you explore the trade market, which I'm sure that they are already, because they should be kicking tires on guys like maybe Marcus Pettersson from Pittsburgh, like we mentioned. There's a couple guys that they can add there that can really bolster up that top four if they want, or even the top six for that matter. But I think for right now, really see what you have in this kid. I mean, he set up the game winner yesterday afternoon for the Manitoba Moose as he finished up his conditioning stint. So I would definitely give him a shot. I mean, I think he's going to get a shot, but I think really give him some runway here and put him in situations that may make him uncomfortable. Really see what he has, right? So you can kind of see, okay, maybe we have to make a trade, or maybe there's another dynamic element to this player's game that we didn't know about now that he's back from injury, and he doesn't have to deal with any of that anymore. Maybe he'll show you something. So I would give him a little bit of runway before you start to explore the trade market a little bit. But I think it's interesting. I think that the Jets, right now, if you're talking about it right now on paper, should probably add one more defensive piece, whether it be before the trade deadline or at the trade deadline. But for this, you built yourself a little bit of a lead in the standings, right? Continue to do what you're doing. Add him to the lineup. And I think that, give him some runway, see what he has, and you might find success there.
Yeah, and ultimately you can see here, you mentioned it. He set up the game winner, and was likely going to go into the lineup regardless on Monday against the Wild. But now that he broke his foot, clearly is going to kind of make it go a lot faster for Dylan Samberg, or for Ville Heinola. Sorry, obviously Dylan Samberg's going to be out for a while, so now he's going to be forced into actually playing tomorrow. We know that, like, all likely to play tomorrow. But the big question mark is going forward regarding trades and things like that. As you look at the schedule ahead, they play the Wild and then the Kings on the 27th, and the 29th they play the Vegas Golden Knights. So a couple of decent teams there, but regardless, they're going to need to do something, and I think they need to make a trade at this point regardless, unless Ville Heinola, you can't put too much expectations on him, even though, again, you can look at his stats there, he's had some decent years with the Manitoba Moose the past couple of seasons, 37 points, 27 points, and then, of course, the Moose, he has an assist in 2 games, but I think it's time to finally give him a shot at the NHL level. We've been discussing it. He's never really gotten that full chance. You can see this here in the Kovac year, 5 games, 12 games, 10 games, and again, he didn't look phenomenal in any of those stints, but I think now at 23 years old, he's had time with Manitoba in back-to-back years, and he hasn't played for the Jets since that 2022 season. So he's had 2 years in between to develop, 2 years to get going. And I think at this point now, it is his time to really show the organization what he can do. And he has an opportunity now. And these things tend to happen. Injuries tend to happen. Hopefully Dylan Samberg gets back soon. But let us know down below what your thoughts are on all this. And let us know if you think Ville Heinola is going to be the answer that the Jets need at this time, given the injury. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.